Well, all right, because the audience may be interested, I'll give you a briefer explication of my transformation. I grew up in a very small and very boring town. I had a mother who was British and a Methodist in Britain, but in our little town there were no Methodist churches, so she became what were then called Congregationalists and is now called United Church of Christ, which is sort of on the left side politically of American Protestantism. My father was Jewish, but he was the kind of Jew that cooked the bacon for Easter breakfast at the sunrise service. However, he did fast on Yom Kippur every year, even after his mother died at the age of 99. And so I was brought up in a somewhat, you might say, ecumenical home, given, I mean, I'm sure my father was the only Jew in the town we lived in. It was not a very big town. And because we didn't go to synagogue, we went to church, and so I went to church every day. I sang in the choir, I played the organ, I was president of my church fellowship in my junior and senior year. But I guess I never had a deep feeling. Well, my wife would say I could stop there. I've never had a deep feeling, but I didn't have a deep emotional response to this. It was all nice ritual, and I like ritual, so that's nice. But I can't reconstruct this because of my lack of examination of my life, but the Battle of Jericho played a role here. I think I was learning about sound waves at the time in physics in high school, and for some reason the lesson had to do with the Battle of Jericho, where you may recall, I guess more of you than most of our students, that Joshua circled the walls and blew the trumpets and the walls fell down and the battle was over. And so I started thinking about these sound waves and what the intensity of these sound waves would be to knock down walls this thick of rock. And then I sort of thought, this is silly. And by the time, I guess, of my second semester of my freshman year in college, which because I was in the Glee Club, I still had to sing in the local Episcopal church every Sunday morning, I just found the whole thing sort of irrelevant. And so I'm not sure that I made any large transformations from one side to the other, but have found it extremely comfortable to live my life without any reflection on the notion of whether God should exist or not, until it's thrown in one's face, as it is constantly in this country, through its influence on the political process, which I find deeply scary.